probably going to break it, isn't it? We definitely need to use the right ones.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to coverage of the Summit. DreamHack Bucharest is wrapped up, and now it's back onto the group stage for the Summit. We've got 5 best-of-ones coming up, and first on the docket is Team Doggy versus RoX.KiS. What's going on here, LD?
Well, we just got done a rather underwhelming DreamHack Bucharest finals.
Yeah, quick 2-0, easy for Alliance.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Alliance back at it, but yeah, hoping the Summit will be a kind of a pick-me-up, and we've got some good games today.
Yeah? We sure do. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I don't know what's coming up after this, but
I
did look at it once. And
I got the schedule, man. I've been fighting with the teams to get this finalized.
Man with the plan.
Today we have Dog versus RoX.KiS, VP versus Relax, VP versus NextKZ, Dog versus MYM, and MYM versus Relax. So lots of games.
Yeah, should be interesting. I've been casting a lot of WPC Ace and Eastern Dota recently, so I'm excited to get back in the West. And it's amazing how it shapes your perspective of the game in general when you see the different metas and different heroes that the teams value. All sorts of different gestures coming from the production booth over there.
I'm not even watching the draft. I'm just there's a monitor over there which has our custom draft overlay, and it's failed to work like 6 out of the last 8 times.
Yeah, something like that.
Seems that's pretty accurate. K-pop. Don't give me an yeah. But it seems to be good this time.
All right,
I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty excited as well. So Dog versus RoX.KiS. I want to say RoX.KiS are the favorites coming in here, but Dog has made some roster changes. I have not seen them since they have become the kind of Dog Sigma hybrid.
Yeah, they lost Sakshka as well as Mad, and well, now they've added Fada and Pos here. So
yes, so Fada, Pos, MSS, Misery, and PyCat.
Sorry, not Dog didn't lose them. Sigma parted ways from Fada and Pos, and
yes,
Dog lost Fogged as well as who was the other one? That doesn't matter. They changed the roster a bunch.
Yeah, Demon was playing with them a little bit, and I guess they had Smogalig was
Smogalig was Smogalig was their last member.
They always sort of their fifth always was kind of never really set in stone. But I think we're ready to hop into the draft, boys.
Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. Look at this beautiful drafting screen.
Our baby, it's back for the day.
All right. So Team Dog, they had luxury first pick. They pick up the Ember Spirit. Initial bans were the Invoker and a Baden from Team Dog, and RoX.KiS ban out the Naga and Lycanthrope. First pick Centaur and Bat Rider from RoX.KiS, and there's that first pick Centaur I've become accustomed to. We weren't seeing it in the series earlier today, but he's a pretty darn good offlaner, LD.
Yeah, with the Bat pick, I guess we're going to see a Bat solo mid. So RoX.KiS is really prioritizing initiation and lockdown, which is pretty good against Ember Spirit. Still, Centaur's not really reliable stun. He's good follow-up for the Bat, but the Bat's really the one who's going to be expected to catch Ember this game. As for Dog, in terms of their bans, just a tweak to the normal draft against Goblak, where, well, you're against Goblak, so they ban out the Abaddon. I expect we're going to see a tree ban on the second stage.
Yeah.
Those are normally his 2 big heroes. He also likes to run a few other healers, Dazzle as well as Chen. I'd say are up on there on the list. So, well, they've given away an Ember. They do get a Bat in return, which is an okay trade, but it's still risky. Blink Lasso, you've got to place it perfectly with the AoE being very low, or else you're just not going to catch him with the initial jump.
Yeah, Bat Rider, he's still hard to deal with, and especially with that Blink Dagger change in the last patch, now I think he's a little bit too strong. I like that change in 6.81 to up the mana cost of Lasso to compensate for the lack of mana cost of the Blink Dagger.
I don't know how much of it, I mean,
I don't know how much it'll help.
The hero was really strong before they gave Blink Dagger a 0 mana cost, so I don't actually think it's going to nerf Bat that much. Maybe he has to get a bottle or a magic stick, where otherwise he could opt to skip them. That does hurt him a bit, but he's still Bat Rider. He's still going to be a top pick to me.
Yeah, for sure. And Bane will be the 3rd ban from RoX.KiS, who is actually one of RoX.KiS's most picked heroes, but of course Team Dog with the 2nd pick Mirana makes for pretty easy arrow setups. That's one of those classic duos that they'll take out of the pool. And what about Shadow Demon here in the West? Have teams been utilizing him much these days, or has he kind of fallen by the wayside? Because he's all the rage in China right now.
I think he's a good ban here for RoX.KiS. They've given
so.
away the Mirana, and so Bane, Shadow Demon are probably the 2 best supports to combo with him. Nothing really. Rubik's okay. That's probably your second-class citizen as far as a partner goes. Not really the ideal choice by any means. So, looking at the lanes for Dog, probably going to be an Ember Spirit mid for Fada, and I'm not sure how they run their Mirana. I have actually not gotten the chance to watch them in
Nor I.
a few weeks, so haven't seen the new 5 in action that often. And It could be a support Mirana in theory. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to use it, but it's a flexible opening for them.
Very flexible. And the support Mirana is pretty legit. Arcane Boots mech, she'll be running around chucking arrows. You can still go the Starstorm build and be pretty bursty in the mid game.
Her main issue is she doesn't have much team fight presence. Like, she has Moonlight Shadow, that's great, but if they just buy Sentry Wards, it's not going to be effective. So that's the downside to support Mirana is mainly that. But there's her early game's really strong because she can roam and set up kills. Her mid game's pretty weak because she doesn't have big team fight presence. But if it goes late enough and she can farm, then she kind of picks back up, and it's like having like a support Ancient Apparition or Visage late game where they offer a lot of damage and just semi carry potential. So Dog will ban Tree, pretty much expected against Scott Black.
Yeah, and even before the recent rise in the Tree end, it was still a pretty valuable ban against Go Black. So now with Tree also on the radar, just makes sense across the board. RoX.KiS will probably ban on another support here. Like you mentioned, the Shadow Demon pairs well with Mirana or Rubik. If it's not one of those two, could just be one of the other strong supports still in the pool. And, well, they will ban out a support. Lich, not the one I would have thought, but interesting. They want the Shadow Demon for themselves, and they'll pick it up right away without a moment's notice. Not only would a Shadow Demon have been good for setup with the arrow, but he also works pretty well against Bat Rider if you can get off that defensive disruption on the lassoed targets.
Yeah, so it's kind of a block pick as well, something that Dog might have wanted to secure for themselves as a setup for the Mirana arrow. I'm slightly surprised at the Lich ban. Maybe it's something Dog's been running recently. I'm actually going to check and see if they've been picking it, but in theory, it does give you a super stacked Ember later on where he's very difficult to focus down. RoX.KiS, very heavy on magic damage for now. I guess the main thing that I would like to see from them is just diversifying there. There is still a Nature's Prophet in the pool. Well, actually, they've got Sedoy's Hero. So, yeah, I'm wondering what they're going to run in the safe lane here for BZZ is perfect at this point. Just running all magic damage does make you very vulnerable to BKB carries. And Ember's not really one, but Mirana can go for one, and also can just dodge a lot of damage with the Sleight of Fist, as well as having Flame Guard to block magic. So, I think RoX just need to diversify a bit here.
Well, there's your third pick, Ancient Apparition, and that was more on point with the fourth ban that I was thinking would come out from RoX.KiS. Either Rubik, AA. Lich has just not been on my radar recently. I haven't seen many teams utilize him. The few teams that tried to run him in like the group stage of Starlight or Season 9 seemed to be pretty lackluster. He was just overwhelming in general. Maybe some of those 6.81 changes will help.
With Ancient Apparition?
No, with Lich.
Oh,
you know about that one, right? Yeah. You saw those videos, LD. I know you fiend Reddit.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say fiend, but yeah, the Chain Frost bombs. I did see.
Yes.
The mines.
we confirmed fiend from K-pop Dosis. Poor LD. He can't catch a break. Poor guy. Occasionally.
Well, I do like the Doom pick, though. They've given away Ember. They needed more than just a lasso, and they get it with the Doom pick. Dog don't have much to actually protect Ember now. They've banned out two of the stronger defensive supports in the Abaddon as well as Tree, and there is still a Dazzle out there. Dazzle and Apparition is a pretty strong duo. They would be a little light on reliable lockdown, though. There's not an there's not a super scary carry to lock down this game. Yeah. There's no anti-mage or storm or anything that's extremely elusive, but they'll go Venge, so it's a slightly defensive support. It can be used to counter the Bat Lasso. We saw that earlier today from Pylai on his Venge, so I like the pick, but I didn't really feel like they were needing damage. I felt like just a stronger defensive pick would have been the safe way to go. Also, Dazzle actually makes Ember stronger because of the ultimate, so we'll see. The Venge has to be in great position if they want to keep this Ember alive in the mid-game, though.
Yeah, it's not as easy as Pylai was making it look earlier to get those pretty clutch nether swaps. Part of the problem is Venge will have the level 1 ultimate for a pretty significant duration of the game. It'll take her a while to hit level 11, and the range is just so darn short. You really have to be in the right place at the right time to be able to break the lasso, and in a lot of cases, the Bat Rider just won't give you that opening. So, yeah, it's a counter to Bat, but not very easy to execute. And now you were mentioning RoX.KiS could be susceptible to some BKBs, but with Lasso and Doom, they've got plenty of tools to cut through the Black King bars, and, well, Puck will be the final ban from RoX.KiS, and there's the Dazzle final ban from Team Dog.
Yeah, they also have Doom damage now, which is universal, so Dog not really looking like much of a BKB lineup, and with the Doom pick anyway. At that point, there's enough lockdown and damage, so I don't think we'll see BKBs from Dog, and if we do, it'll be fairly late in the game, likely, but well, RoX now, one more pick to go. It should be their second support. They already have decent setup for the Centaur. They could honestly run the Dazzle as well, and it gives them a lot of roaming potential. They could also look towards something I don't think they want to run a jungler here. They already have Doom and Bat who are likely to be using it, so some sort of, probably just a support that provides some additional damage. Ancient Apparition would be great here, but it's already picked up by Dog.
It's a shame they couldn't get Dazzle. They could have done a snaky tri-lane with the Centaur, Shadow Demon, and Dazzle, and that is really potent. They'll go ahead and settle on the Rubik, which is a sort of a similar flavor. You disrupt to set it up, you can get a Hoof Stomp, easy double edge, and you've got Telekinesis Fable to follow up. Still very bursty. It's a little atypical to see that Centaur in a tri-lane, but he can do a lot of burst damage if you're looking for an aggressive killer tri-lane.
Yeah, and can steal things like Ancient Apparition ult's pretty good. Marana Arrow's not bad. Ember spells, much harder to steal because half the time he's invulnerable or just zipping around in the fights, but if you can get your hands on them, they're quite nice. And now Dog, well, I guess we're going to see, we need a tempo controller. They have the Ember they can run mid, and there you kind of a frontline tank of a, not really a tempo controller per se, but this is a strong tri-lane. Wraith King, Ancient Apparition, Venge. Also, they are on the dire side, having the lifesteal are pretty nice for the Roshan pit, so it could work out. This is just a very high kill potential tri-lane, and actually Bat is going to have trouble against this. As elusive as he is, they have a lot of lockdown and a lot of burst damage for him, so Doi may need to abandon. If he's actually up against the tri-lane, he may need to just go jungle pretty early on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, Wraith King, this will be a position 1 Wraith King, and actually picked up by Fada.
You know, I say Sidoi because he's on the Bat. He's normally their offlaner, but I thought it was going to be a Centaur offlane, so
maybe it'll be Doom in the...
They may run just a safe... I'm thinking they're going to run a safe lane Bat for Sidoi and then go aggressive with the Rubik Shadow Demon Centaur.
And then solo
the main issue is just that they lack damage at that point. Rubik, like, that's where, like you were saying, they'd rather have Dazzle.
Oh, yeah. That's way more bursty. You can nuke with the Heal Bomb on the Shadow, on the Shadow Demon illusions, and it also just gives Centaur a little bit of extra flexibility as well. You can be a little more liberal with that double edge because he's got the heal from Dazzle. So not quite the same level of synergy, but I think they could pull it off. They could probably get away with it. The Ancient Apparition is always good in a tri-lane, but it is not a triple range tri-lane. And when there's that melee, Wraith King will be able to get a couple of swings off, but not the same potency if it was a Marana down here or Morphling. But I'm still not 100% on how Dog are going to set up these lanes. Is Fada... He's playing mid on this team, right? Or have they changed roles around? Or is it a Wraith King mid? Or is MSS their mid player? I'm a little confused here, LD.
Well, let's see. He's on the Ember Spirit. He has started with a Stout Shield as well, so not rushing a bottle, which would suggest he's not going mid. But
both Fire and MSS actually have the exact same opening build.
They are running the Bat safe lane, so they do put him there anticipating the aggressive tri-lane, but the interesting thing is that they're dual laning mid. They're running Shadow Demon Centaur.
Ah, all right. Not the way I would have predicted, but still a pretty potent duo lane. Same general premise with the tri-lane disruption for easy setup, your Soul Catcher, and then Centaur can do a lot of damage very fast. Around level 3, level 4, they should be able to pick up kills pretty easily.
Yeah, nice wards here by Dog. It looks like they will be going aggressive tri-lane with the Venge, Ancient Apparition, and Wraith King. And they blocked off the pull camp, and they've also gotten a lane ward that will allow them to see the Bat Rider if he's like hiding in the trees or trying to leech some experience. And as mentioned, if they get off the double stun into just some right clicks from Chilling Touch, Bat's probably dying. And running the Bat safe lane, there's not a cliff nearby for him to kite over, so it's actually almost more dangerous than running him in the off lane.
Yeah, kind of ironic how that works out. On the Radiant off lane, you have this nice big waterfall over here, and even though lore-wise, Bat Rider should struggle when he flies over water. He doesn't seem to have a problem dropping fiery hot lava into the
and even this
water.
area as well. Like, you'll normally see teams going for the double pull, and he can just kite back and forth across the cliff. But well, they'll wait for the rune, and the rune is going to spawn top. It's an invis. Solo's going top, and he'll be 1v1 against the Pycat Marana, starting with a Stout Shield. Marana starting with the Wraith Band. And they have not blocked this camp, so depending on what he gets, this could actually work out to be a decent lane for the Doom.
Yeah, and
now the Venge going top. She'll place an Observer Ward, so just dual lanes from them as well. All right.
Both teams with ward coverage on that top rune. So it's a Venge Ember Spirit versus a Shadow Demon Centaur. This is a pretty interesting mid lane. Venge will actually roam up top to get things started out of the gate here. And, well, may try and give Solo a little run for his money. He does grab an Hellbear Smasher with that first Devour and gets himself a Thunderclap.
Yeah, not really the best creep, but he gets the experience. He almost hits level 2. In terms of this dual lane, it's a the Venge stun is a decent setup. Solo's got to be careful. They could stun this one, look for the arrow, and they're going to do it.
Yeah, that creep was... No, that was a... Yeah, creep was in the way. Marana actually didn't skill up the arrow yet, so... Keeping her wits about her, and...
It's not quite as reliable as Disruption, because the Venge stun only lasts 1.45 seconds, not 2.5, but it's usually enough. And
yeah,
the Doom can definitely die here. He's got to play pretty defensively.
Yeah, the Disruption isn't necessarily a free arrow either. You have to angle it kind of right, and if the person in the Disruption kind of reads that it's off to one of the sides, they can try and spam click the other way, and sometimes they can sneak out and...
Well, if you time it perfectly, the arrow is hitting you as you come out, and there's nothing you can do.
Yes, it's
but if the timing's a little bit off, then sometimes you can do.
Sometimes it flies by, or it's I don't know, not always that free stun that it seems to be on paper, but yeah, already. Let's see, Rubik. Oh, never mind, he's just moving around.
Yeah, so Sadoy's running just the dual lane against the Bat Rider. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill him. Poss. If they can get a Cold Feet to proc, they will, but he started boots first. So even with the Wraith King stun and the Ancient Apparition Cold Feet potentially, he hasn't skilled anything yet. Sadoy probably gets out of this. So I'd say the kill potential for Dog Bottom is mediocre. They could get a kill, but it mostly comes down to if he gets caught in an Ice Vortex and then Cold Feeted or something like that. But they've invested a lot in these wards, and it seems to me like they expected RoX to be running more than one hero here, having an Observer Ward and 2 Sentries, de-warding as well at the bottom lane. Just shutting down the Bat Rider is okay, but he can catch up in the jungle. Already Yol's looking to do some pulling. He lifted a Centaur up the cliff, I believe, and has now dragged the wave back around. So.
Did that cheeky Rubik play. He also stacked it once, so he's got a couple of big creeps that he'll be able to pick up, and that's great news for Rubik. He'll grab some farm, grab a little bit of extra experience, and it may eventually slow down the Bat Rider a little bit because he won't have huge stacks to retreat to, but worth it for now, as Rubik will find a small farming edge over the likes of Dog.
That's pretty nice, though, because he's getting some experience. He's denying experience to their dual lane, and Ancient Apparition needs levels. Wraith King does as well. You get the level 1 ult, that's pretty nice, but ideally you want the level 2 one, and that's a lot to look for. So this is a nice way to kind of punish the aggressive dual lane, and if they're not getting kills, and Rubik's able to just go for these stacks, which we'll see him do again right now. Momentarily, I imagine. Yeah, lifts up the Ursa, tosses it out, and he's practiced this. Yeah. I've seen players do the lift and then pull the wave, but he's also stacking it at the same time. This is
cheeky.
I remember, I think it was Dignitas did this at TI3, although they kept on messing up the timing, but this is really well done.
Yeah.
Punishes aggressive duel or tri-lane.
Oh, Sadoy in the bottom? Nope, not enough damage. He'll be able to just Firefly away, but Sadoy's been last hitting really well in this lane. He is 7-0, and Wraith King is only 5-2, so this is proving pretty potent, denying full waves of creeps, and even under the tower, Bat Rider can still get some last hits here and there. So Fada is really hurting right now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But Sadoy, they will dive this tower. Wraith King won't be in position for a stun, and this is where having a melee hero kind of hurts you with that chilling touch. If this was ranged, maybe they could have gotten a couple of auto attacks off, but Fada just can't get in place.
They'll probably need some points in Ice Vortex. Puppy likes to max it, even over Chilling Touch, and that might be the way to go this game. I think if they have a level 2 or 3 Ice Vortex, and they get off the Wraith King stun, then they might be able to kill Sadoy, but he's already level 4, so the dual lane's failed on multiple fronts. Hasn't shut down the Rubik. They try and go for him again. Can't really do it. Solo, top lane. Oh, he's actually getting aggressive here.
Yeah, did a lot of damage to Pycat while we were looking at the bottom, and Misery coming in will throw out a magic missile. There it is, Marana lining up the arrow. This time it'll be on point. The leap forward, Starstorm. There's your first blood. And Courier as well. Nope, Courier will be safe.
It's actually after 3 minutes. Hasn't been upgraded yet. God Black looks like he wants his boots, and Yol probably wanting his as well. No, there you go. Gets upgraded.
Yep. So, well, easy first blood for Dog. It was Marana who grabbed the last hit, so that's great news. Pycat is farming reasonably well. Also, not the last hit leader, but number 2 on the chart, 17-3. Doing pretty well against Doom, who is 14-3 himself. Still holding on to that Thunderclap that he picked up at the 30-second mark.
So RoX.KiS running the dual lane mid. It's nice to get farm on your Centaur. Can get an early blink, but ideally you'd like to just get a kill on MSS. Disrupt him, follow up with a stomp. I don't know if they'll be able to do it. Here comes Poss bottom lane. Does have a haste rune and looking for Sadoy.
Yep, and I think this will translate to a kill. He tries to Firefly away, just nowhere to go, as we were talking about earlier on. Ancient Apparition gets credit for the kill, so not the ideal scenario for Dog, but finally shutting down that Bat Rider and will, of course, open up more space for Fada. But look at this Fada with only 9 CS at the 4.5-minute mark.
Yeah, it's not great for Wraith King. I mean, he's been denied a lot of creeps with these pulls, so
Yeah.
he hasn't had a whole lot to work with. But
Yeah, no, it's not his fault as much as just how effective this Rubik strategy has been. There's
he's
not enough creeps.
He's not the
coming in.
primary DPS though. They have a lot of damage from the supports. Ancient Apparition hits quite hard. Ember does if he gets farm. I think the bigger concern is the Ember getting absolutely just nothing out of the mid lane. He's 2-0.
Wow.
It's level 5.
But he hasn't skilled anything yet. Is that a bug on my? Or no, he's just holding on to his skills. Hasn't decided what he wants to do yet.
Yeah, I guess holding on to the points. So if he needs to get a flame guard, like 3 points in flame guard to live through the burst, he can.
So 2 points in Flame Guard are skilled up as they come in here. There's your Searing, 3 points in Searing Chains. Connects with Yol straight away. And this will translate to an easy kill. So MSS maybe not finding creep kills, but he'll find a hero kill. And gets another one up on the scoreboard. Dog now pulling ahead 3-0 as we pass that 5-minute mark. And now this is an interesting Ember Spirit build. I don't think I've ever seen level 5 with 0 Sleight of Fist before.
Yeah, it's pretty unusual. They had an Observer Ward here, so that's just like an extra guaranteed kill. But
Yeah.
he'll go back for one soon, I imagine. Probably at level 7.
Yeah. I mean, I see why he went for it here and the way he skilled them up until right before that kill, but it's definitely a little bit different. Sleight of Fist is usually at least worth that value point in the first few levels.
Yeah, Flame Guard's pretty bad at level 1, and you'd get the extra second of Disable with Searing Chains once it hits level 3.
Yeah.
The scaling is going to change in 6.81, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for-
going to be 1-2-2-3 instead of 2-2-3-3, I believe.
yeah,
so
so you have more incentive to get 4 points in
yeah.
actually all of his abilities at that point.
Yeah.
There's
Dazzle
less,
Syndrome.
There's less of a value point factor anymore.
Yeah, definitely. So Sadoy is about a third of the way to his Blink Dagger, 700 golden savings, has the Tranquil Boots, so he's sort of hurting for farm here. He's doing reasonably well at the 6-minute mark. If he was really dominating this bottom lane, then we may see a Blink Dagger coming out in the next minute or two, but he'll be able to retreat to the jungle. No stacks up for him right now, and there are some Mud Golems down, but
They really want BZZ mid. This could be bad.
yep, they'll hop forward. He does connect with the Hoof Stomp. Searing Chains on the mark. That'll be enough for the kill, but TP's coming in. Doom puts the ultimate onto MSS. Moonlight Shadow flies. Arrow, point blank, connects with Solo. Now, will this be enough to take down the Ember Spirit? It doesn't look like it, and I think he'll survive.
Yeah, he's close. Meanwhile, the Bat Rider finds a kill in the Wraith King bottom lane. They're actually looking for an additional kill in this Ancient Apparition, and simultaneously mid, Yo will escape with barely any HP. Godblack is diving. No disruption for a few seconds. He has actually just ignored his poison so far, so really focused on the disruption and the double edge combo, which is quite potent, but we haven't seen it yet this game. 6-3-3, close to the Blink Dagger, but that death as mid was very costly because he pretty much had Blink before that, and running him mid, securing his farm early, that is so you can get a Blink and find kills. Well, hasn't gotten it yet, but he should have it quite soon, and once that happens, expect for RoX.KiS to just start looking for him to set up and create some space, and Sadoy soon to follow, as the Bat Rider is also quite close. So they basically need to get their Blinks and start fighting. Dog definitely have the scarier late game.
They do, but with this Ember Spirit and Wraith King both pretty underfarmed, Wraith King's at least finding recovery farm now, has power treads up with about 25 CS. Ember Spirit is still in the single digits. He's getting close to that 1 creep kill per minute mark, which is a very scary metric. And he's not going to be hitting hard anytime soon here, LD. The Mirana, on the other hand, her farm is not too shabby. She's level 8 and does have phase boots up already. So she'll be their big damage dealer here coming into the mid game with 45 creep kills under her belt.
Yeah, Ember's quite under farm, but he got his levels, and he's a good catch-up hero. Let's see, do they have any stacks in the jungle? Oh, bottom lane, onto Godblack they go.
Yep, there's the wave from far behind, but the defensive Stampede buys Godblack plenty of time, and he'll scoot back to safety. The gank attempt from Dog will be rendered unsuccessful. There's the power of that Centaur and his global presence.
Well, unfortunately, has to use his ult defensively. Does have his Blink Dagger now, but they'll have to wait a minute and a half before they can use it. Solo, Doom online again. So we should see a timing here for RoX with the Blink where they can go. They could still potentially find kills, but obviously you'd prefer to have Stampede to make it happen.
Yeah.
And in terms of defensive capabilities, this is where Dog are very weak. They didn't go for Dazzle, Abaddon, Tree, any of the popular sports in this patch. So if someone gets caught, at best they can get swapped, but that's it.
And down bottom, Disruption onto Fada. There's the blink forward from BZZ. Connects with a hoof stomp, but just makes this more defensive. Retreats as Moonlight Shadow comes out. I don't think they have detection down here. Sadoy trying to get aggressive. Wants to grab someone with the lasso, but won't be able to do it. Now he'll get caught. Gets struck by an arrow, and he falls. He'll be the first to go down in this bottom exchange. And Team Dog, they're not done yet. A 5-man rotation. They'll catch the Centaur inside the Searing Chains. That'll make it 2-0, and now they'll chase down Go Black.
That was
Disruption.
very indecisive. Like, they blink in with the disruption, go for the stomp, and then he just turned around and ran. Didn't even bother to double edge. They just hesitated. But that's where not having Stampede hurts them. Not having Doom there also hurts them. Just got TP gold, finished his phase boots, and they just weren't quite convinced they wanted to fight. But, I mean, you get a Blink Dagger on Centaur. You run him as a farmer, you should be wanting to. So, RoX.KiS seem like they're just kind of lacking an identity this game, I would say.
Solo just straight chops down the Wraith King in the top lane. That procs his ultimate and won't be able to find a follow-up kill, but that's a really long cooldown at level 1, and I'm kind of surprised to see Fada just hand it over like that. 260 seconds now. He will be free game for RoX.KiS, and they're already rotating up. They want to kill him again.
Free fountain trip, dude.
Yeah.
So legit.
Yeah, well, there's a Doom available now. He'll pop it, blink forward, hoof stomp, double edge, and sorry, Fada, but no way he'll survive this one. Even the Stampede burned might not have been necessary there, but they make it an easy kill. Ancient Apparition ult flies in, but low heroes, no one close enough to shatter, though.
See? 2 free fountain trips. Oh, that's obviously not ideal. And they lose the Wraith King. Again, he's not the primary damage dealer. I would say that is MSS on the Ember, who is quite poor, and Pycat on the Luna, who's doing quite a bit better. 53 CS. The mid game for RoX.KiS is... Oh, yeah, on the Mirana.
Yeah.
The mid game for RoX.KiS is mostly just built around ganks. So they have Doom, they have a double blink. Soon the Bat will have his, and they should just be looking for the pickoffs. That's where Dog will need to counter gang and just anticipate RoX's movements. They are stronger taking it late. They also have the Rosh advantage and a good lineup to take Rosh with the Wraith King lifesteal. The Venge damage aura has not taken a point yet in Vengeance aura, but has 2 points in Wave of Terror. Normally see at least 1 value point in all of her skills, so imagine we'll see one soon. But yeah, RoX.KiS are smoked up, and they're looking to find somebody. Do they have any vision right now? They don't really see anyone, but they'll be heading towards the river.
Yeah, they've got okay ward coverage right now, basically just control of the 2 runes, one on the high ground outside of their Ancients, and then one on the low ground here, just right near the Rosh pit and that big entryway into their jungle. They will make their way towards the bottom lane, and they saw an Ancient Apparition, but Pos will scoot back right away, recognizing that, well, there's a lot of heroes missing off the map. He could be susceptible to a gank, and he'll make it back to his side of the river. A ward gets pinged out here, and I think they're going to chalk this one up to ward coverage, and yeah, Go Black throws down a sentry.
Going in, bottom lane.
Oh, Pos taking heavy damage. He'll be the first to go down, but they may find a return kill on the Centaur. Yep, the tower will chunk him down, Sadoy, with a lasso, but he's taking so much damage from that Flame Guard. He'll fall, and Rubik also got cleaned up around the backside by the Vengeful Spirit. It ends up being a 1 for 3. All that just for the support Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, not worth it at all. Great counter initiation by Dog. They also dropped the Moonlight Shadow there. Nicely done as well. And RoX.KiS running this kind of draft, they need to be coming out on top in kills. That is the entire point of their lineup. Come out ahead in kills, starve your opponents from there, but trading unfavorably is... They're not like a greedy draft particularly. They haven't gone for any strong farming builds. We don't see any Midases, no Helm of the Dominator, no Ancient stacking. So their key to victory is getting kills and getting more kills than they're giving up. And that was just a great counter gank by Dog. They were well prepared for it.
Yeah, so far RoX.KiS not really living up to the strategy they need to employ. Towers are starting to get exchanged. They already lost their bottom tier 1, but they'll find a top tier 1 tower kill of their own here at the 13-minute mark.
And now Dog are going Rosh. They've already jumped into the pit. Arrow gets thrown out. They have an early Medallion of Misery, and Dog don't have too many ultimates now. Lasso's still cooling down. Centaur ult's not ready. Doom is online, but he's not near the pit, and I think it's too late.
Yeah, Rosh already down below half health, and I think the big thing was out the lasso. If they could isolate someone, maybe they could make this happen, but they just don't have the tools at their disposal. Stampede is now cooled down.
They will have lasso soon. If they want to go, though, they got to go right now, and they don't seem to know. It's too late.
So Aegis goes the way of the Mirana, and now Dog will just rotate towards the mid lane. I think they want to finish off this tier 1 tower. It's pretty low, only about 300 hit points. Arrow flies, it will be off the mark, but we'll see how successful this smoke is. It seems like a kind of an obvious smoke here. There were creeps pretty nearby, but...
Yeah, well, they smoked in the pit and then run out, but now they're looking for Sadoy now. He might get caught out. They have on lane ward.
Oh, that did hit him. Arrow will fly, connects with Sadoy. Right clicks coming in from Pycat. There's your Wave of Terror, defensive disruption. That'll keep him safe from the Ice Blast, but won't be enough to keep him alive. Now, Centaur hopping forward, catches 2 with the Hoof Stomp. Double Edge does a lot of damage. Misery falling quickly. Ember Spirit actually the first to go down. They've already taken out Sadoy. They finish off the Vengeful Spirit. Now the lasso in. They'll find Pos. Dog are in some trouble. They're in retreat mode, just trying to minimize their losses. Fada doesn't have the mana for the ultimate. There you go. Wand charges get popped, and that'll proc his reincarnation, but
uh-oh, this could be a double-edged sword. Pycat still alive. He's turning this one around a bit. Fada dropping low. Can Solo finish him off? One more right click. Yes, they will. RoX.KiS, they found 4. They're looking for 5. Pycat's overstayed his welcome. It's a team wipe. Aegis down. Can they kill him twice? I don't know. Oh, they get the stomp, but he actually leaps out in the nick of time as their lift follow-up. Not ready. Now the arrow. He gets swapped out of the arrow.
Oh,
He's going to live. Solo's going to live as well. What an unfortunate turn of events. They do still get the Doom kill. Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, that was...
Swapped him to safety. Like, swapped him out of the line of fire.
Yeah.
Goodness.
That was basically a 6-for-1 exchange, though, here in the mid. Well, I guess 6-for-2. Bat Rider, he fell first, and then he bought back. So, okay, RoX.KiS did have to burn a buyback for that fight to happen, but obviously much worth it for that Bat Rider to get back to the party.
Well, they only killed the Mirana once, so they got rid of the Aegis, but she is still 5-0-1, and Pycat is up to 2,300 gold. It's still very good for Rox, considering how the game was going, but... I still, even trades for them still concern me, because you look at the late game of Dog, they've got not as good gank, but they have much more damage output, a really strong late game composition. The Ember is very poor, though. MSS sitting on 24 CS at 16 minutes.
Wow.
And this is a hero that farms quickly. That just goes to show you how well the dual lane RoX.KiS ran mid shut him down. Yeah. That being said, he does have the Venge, with giving him some additional damage, so it's not all bad for him.
And he's also 3-1-3, so he's been involved in a number of the kills that Dog had put onto the board, and looking at net worth, he's actually number 4 right now, so he's ahead of the Bat Rider and the Centaur on RoX.KiS. That additional tower gold certainly helping him out. So even though he got shut down in lane, he still is having an impact in this game, but RoX.KiS, they're feeling frisky. They've got a 4-man smoke rotating into the dire jungle. Doom is not with them, however. He does have his ultimate available. I feel like he would be pretty helpful in this kind of a scenario.
Godlike just got revealed, but have they actually seen him on the dire side? They go in, they've spotted him out.
And the arrow flies in, stolen from Rubik. Now Fada, he's in big trouble. He gets caught by the lasso. Will they be able to bring him down? Yeah, telekinesis will be enough, but it will cost them their Shadow Demon as well as their Centaur. Now Yol, he's in the front lines. He'll get finished off, and it's a disaster for RoX.KiS. It ends up being a 1-for-3.
Look at these TPs. They're trying to cut him off on the other path, but he blinks over the tree line. He will escape, but good thinking from Dog to try and go for the 4th kill there. And there's no real trade for RoX.KiS in the end. Just solo farming bottom. Oh, yeah. They keep on looking to take fights without the Doom, and it's really costing them.
And it's kind of strange. Oh, arrow from long range connects with Solo, and now he will take some pretty hefty damage. Pycat hops forward, uses the Star Storm. The follow-up just isn't there. Misery can't get in position. Scorched Earth about to expire. Wave of Terror to scout it out. Solo will try and port. Can they get the magic missile? They just need vision. And the fog will be potent enough for him to get back safely.
He ran the wrong way. Ran straight down into the right, not into the middle. Nice usage of Fog of War there. Makes his way out. But, again, RoX.KiS, well, that was not even an even trade. That was just a flat-out bad trade for them. But
yep.
Even if it's slightly favorable, I say that still favors Dog. And when it's directly in Dog's favor, that is extremely problematic. Fada getting close to his level 2 ultimate on the Wraith Cane. We'll probably see him go into the Blade Mail Mjolnir build. MSS, yeah, Phase Boots drums. He doesn't have much farm, but he's not a single core Ember. They've got a lot of damage from their supports and from the Venge. So the key for RoX.KiS at this point is just using their ultimates and blinks to get kills. They'll have a BKB soon on Solo, and they need to catch Dog out, not get caught. Shadow Demon, the smoke got revealed, and he just kind of stood around. They actually barely had vision of him and from a hero that was over here, and that allowed them just to jump in and secure a kill.
Yeah, and it looks like Mirana already has a Maelstrom out, so maybe that'll have the Wraith. Maybe that will influence the Wraith Cane to grab something other than the Mjolnir. Armlet could be an option here, even if you wanted to still go Blade Mail, but even double Mjolnir isn't that bad.
Smoke from Dog.
Yep, something that they could get away with. I think if RoX.KiS want to keep ganking, though, they need to utilize this Doom. This is kind of reminding me of that TC Doom in, what was that? Which tournament was that?
Well, he's already,
that hard farming Doom.
He's already used this Doom twice.
He's already twice, but 18 minutes in, I mean, that's still not too much. Yeah, he'll get initiated on now. Speak of the Devil, Moonlight Shadow forward, arrow from long range, just barely off the mark, but there's the swap. Stampede comes out, but just isn't enough to keep the Doom alive. And now he'll get picked off, ultimate off cooldown, but he's stuck in the well.
They just keep on getting ganked. They're supposed to be the ones doing the ganking. They have a Bat with now just picked up his Force. Blink Force on the Bat. You're running a Centaur with a Blink. You have a Doom who's gone phase drums. Very mid-game oriented build, but when they keep on dying like this, they not only are giving up kills, they're giving Dog a lot of space to farm and take towers. And you mentioned Pycat's Maelstrom. Frankly, yeah, he can just get the Mjolnir. Oh, mid lane. We'll have an engagement.
Yeah, we sure will. Sudoi taking hefty damage. He's the first one to go down. Fought in the front lines, has an ultimate up. It may get procced here, but throws the Wraithfire Blast before he goes down. That slow will secure the kill onto Yol. And Shadow Demon might be enough to secure the kill on him as well. The range is just ridiculous on that reincarnation. Fido blinks forward, and that'll be a 3-0 in the mid lane. Meanwhile, up top, Pycat and MSS finish off a tier 1 tower, and I think they can do some damage to this tier 2. They might not finish it off, but a lot of momentum in this push, and all of a sudden it looks like Dog may just run away with this game.
Yeah, Dog are just constantly the ones initiating, and RoX are not really that great at counter-initiating. They're great at getting the jump on you, but well, they just keep on getting caught out. And Reincarnation, it's a spell that got buffed up quite a few times in the past couple patches, and you don't want to kill Wraith King. You really want to ignore him, but they haven't been able to do so.
I think they could have just killed Solo in that top lane if Mirana didn't just kind of chuck the arrow willy-nilly. Pycat threw it out trying to catch him from long range, and if he had just waited for the Searing Chains to connect, they would have had plenty of damage to finish him off. Doom is not really that tanky. Phase Boots into Drum of Endurance, pretty standard opener, working on the BKB, but still doesn't have it. 1,700 hit points, I guess, is rather tanky, but he just has no armor. Only 3.
The Doom's game impact has been very low, to be honest. 1, 3, and 4, and my big thing is Solo just hasn't been coming to fights. Like, they're off on the smoke gank, he's just farming bottom lane. He's trying to secure himself a BKB, but how much does BKB really do for you this game? Sure, Dog have a lot of nukes. They also have a lot of physical damage. Venge now with the level 2 Vengeance are also has a medallion. Mirana's hitting pretty hard, has quite a bit of farm. It's not like it's not like this is a Doom BKB against 5 casters. It's a BKB against a lot of right click. So I'm just not sure what the plan is. When he gets the BKB, what's next? They might look to take some fights now. I still think RoX.KiS have their shots to win fights, but they could have also just been fighting as 5 earlier. If they wanted to farm, he should have just gone greedier, gone for a Midas, and played it more conservatively. Here comes Sudoi, though. He's looking for a pickoff.
Yeah, he does have the Force Staff online. He catches Misery, does try and scoop back with the Force Staff, but gets caught inside the Fiery Change. It is enough to finish off Vengeful Spirit. They lose the Bat Rider in the trade. Tier 1 tower on the dire side of the map falls, and RoX.KiS will walk away with...
They're not done yet. Blinking from Fada.
He gets telekinesed, go black on the run. He'll get off a defensive disruption, but he will get dropped the second he pops out. Ember Spirit just ticks him down with the Flame Guard. Ends up being a 2-for-1, but RoX.KiS do get a tower out of it.
They're still not done. The Wraith King keeps on coming. Man, I gotta say, Ember plus Wraith King with Blink, that is some serious chase potential. As soon as RoX.KiS try to run, they're gonna lose 2 or 3, no matter what, because you just can't run from these 2 heroes.
And wow, Mirana is 7-0-4. Pycat now has his Mjolnir complete. He is starting to get scary. Hits for 150 a pop, and he's starting to hit fast as well.
And they can just throw the Mjolnir buff on the Wraith King, so...
Yep.
I like this item choice. We see a decent amount of Maelstrom from Pycat, or from Mirana players in general, but it's especially strong when you've got another hero to throw the Mjolnir buff on, and
yeah,
they've got probably the ideal candidate, Wraith King, like the ultimate hero you don't want to focus outside of maybe Axe. So, yeah, I think it's a really strong choice in general, and especially this game. Just a ridiculous item.
Yeah, and I do like that it opens up for the armlet onto Wraith King. The Vampiric Aura makes it a particularly powerful item in the hands of the skeleton there, because he can just lifesteal through that HP drain, especially once he gets a few additional points in the aura. So, just an overall pretty solid item that also gives him some tankiness and additional survivability. MSS, working towards the Battle Fury, has Perseverance and 650 gold. So he's not too far off the mark either. He's really made a solid recovery, still holding steady around that position 5, position 4 mark on net worth, but kind of par for the course right now, which is still scary in context of RoX.KiS because, as we've mentioned, they do not have the carry advantage as we're getting well into the mid-game.
Well, and you look at these supports, Pos almost has an Aghanim Scepter. In fact, Misery's building his own. That is going to mean a 10-second swap, and we've already seen the effectiveness of the swap to cancel the lasso, to, in some cases, just pull heroes back in. Sure, they screwed up the arrow combo that one time, but it's still been... The Venge pick has turned out to be very effective. Here come RoX.KiS, they're smoked up in the river, and they'll look to make their move towards mid. Can they get a pick off? They really need to get the jump on Dog for once. It feels like every time Dog are the ones finding the openings.
Maybe they'll find Pos around the backside here. He's not positioned towards the front of his team. They just need the initiation from Sidoi. There it is. Centaur ultimate flies as well. Pycat gets completely isolated. Ice Blast comes in, does connect with a few. Pycat survives the initial round of burst, but ends up getting picked off. BZZ standing his ground, but he's taking pretty hefty damage as well. And well, maybe he'll survive to tell the tale for now. Ember as well as Venge have already died.
That slow is so ridiculous. Oh my god.
Blinks back as he comes up, and RoX.KiS, they were the defenders there, but they still come out ahead, 2-0.
Well, they got the jump on the Mirana. She died pretty much instantly, and the Ancient Apparition was just caught in a really awkward position. It's nice when you jump an Ancient Apparition, even if you don't kill him, because he's not going to hit like a 4 or 5 hero ultimate. So I would say that's probably the closest RoX has come to having a clean initiation in this game for a team fight.
Yeah, Mirana bought back. I'm sorry, it was a 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, even if it was a 2-0, though, it's still a good fight. End of the day, like they just need to find kills and not die.
Yeah,
and they are gonna potentially spot out this Wraith King. No, he blinks out in time.
Yeah.
The one thing I am a little surprised about is that we haven't seen Dog go for the Roche again, but I think it just respawned fairly recently. One concern for RoX is they're not really that good at securing Roche for themselves. They don't have minus armor. They lack physical damage. The Doom is sitting on ice armor now. He doesn't have an Alpha Wolf or anything like that, so Dog can look to take the Roche again, and it's going to be hard for RoX to stop it.
Yeah.
They have good heroes to scout out the pit. Well, not scout out, but good initiation, but they don't really have much vision over the pit. In fact, all they have is Bat's Firefly, really, and that's fairly short range nowadays with the reduced flying vision.
Yeah, the scouting is difficult, but I think they could actually take a decent fight.
Yeah, if they know it's
pit.
coming.
Yeah.
But the thing is, will they know it's coming?
Yeah.
Dog can do it anytime, and RoX, are they always going to scout it? I mean, you can see now they're looking towards it, but...
Yeah.
Oh, they have a Stolen Ancient Apparition on. Okay, now they've got some scouting.
There you go. Yeah, that threw me off for a second there, but yep, Rubik holding on to the Ice Blast. There is a 5-man smoke from Team Dog now. And I see that Roche pit getting pinged out.
Oh, that's pretty unfortunate. They just threw the ult, and now they come into the pit. And
that's just unlucky. That's
just what do you do? And that's like, you have to constantly see out. And they're even smoked up. They're going to go for it, but the Roche is already dead.
Yeah, they won't get there in time. Medallion is just too much. They've got plenty of damage.
Will they look to take a fight here? Dog could get caught out of position a bit. RoX.KiS do have a nice observer ward. Now Dog's going to back off.
Yeah, everyone will just retreat. It'll be an unsuccessful smoke. Good read by Dog. I wonder if they saw that AA ult fly in from the Rubik and said, okay, it's on cooldown. This is our time to go. Or if they were just heading that direction and, well, the ult happened to fly by right as they were gearing up for Roche anyhow. Either way, works out well for them. Aegis goes to the Mirana once again. Fada now with 2,300 gold, whatever his heart desires, he'll be able to grab before too long. Ice Blast just flying all over the place here. There's one for Rubik. Will just be off the mark for Pycat.
Yeah, they're crossing streams here between the teams.
Yeah, well, Dog came out ahead in that exchange. That one actually hit the Bat Rider, so Sidoi took some damage. But
yeah, the key thing for Dog is they're about to get insane damage. Sidoi is going in mid. He might get swapped in by Misery. Does blink out. But Aghanim Scepter is like 100 gold away for Pos. They have Pycat with an Aegis and another 1,300 gold. The Venge working towards their Ags. Hasn't really gotten that much closer. Wraith King's picked up an Armlet. They just have so much damage. Every single hero is a massive damage dealer. Rubik, not much for damage dealer. Shadow Demon with level 1 Shadow Poison can set up a single kill, but they don't have like sustained damage over the course of the fight. They can disrupt, Soul Catcher, Blink Stomp, maybe get a single kill with the Double Edge, and then what's the follow-up? Everyone on Dog does a ton of damage over the course of a fight, so that's why I worry for RoX.KiS a lot. If they don't get a clean initiate, they're just going to get whittled down way too quickly. Plus, now they're fighting into Aegis.
Yeah, and there's your Ag Scepter coming out for Pos. And I'm just a little surprised this Battle Fury hasn't come out yet for MSS. He does now have 1,300 gold following the Perseverance, so still hasn't made that much progression. I guess they haven't knocked down any of these Tier 2 towers, and that's been where a lot of his farm's been coming from. Now 5, 2, and 7 with 57 CS, so still not really finding a lot of farm. But Dog are moving around like they want to be aggressive. They've got 5 heroes in the Radiant jungle. Well, except now Venge will port to the Tier 2 mid and scout around. Oh, Sidoi.
Gonna find Goblak. Goblak could be in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, Force Staff and Stampede. That'll take him to the low ground. And the arrow will just whiz by his head. Sidoi, he TP's home. And everyone survives to tell the tale.
I just don't know what their late game is for RoX.
Yeah.
They can go towards the Shivas on solo. In fact, he just picked up. That's a pretty big pickup. But outside of that, like, none of these heroes really scale that late. They've got... it's a team full of initiators and setup stuns, but there's just no follow-through.
Yeah, who are they setting it up for? Shivas will help out quite a bit, and it also makes Doom a lot more tanky. 2,000 HP, but 19 armor. We'll see how tanky he is right here as they initiate Ice Blast on the mark, but he throws out the BKB. Not much that Fada can do as he gets slowed from the Shivas, but the rest of the team coming in, he's got a BKB, though.
Where was the swap? Didn't want to throw it, I suppose. Now he's going to get swapped back in. Once again, they touch the arrow, but, well, it won't matter. He'll still get the kill.
Yeah, now Yol gets dropped as they throw the Wraithfire Blast, and Pycat, he gets disrupted, but doesn't really matter.
Yeah, if I'm Pycat, I'm like, dude, what's your problem, man? Just let me hit an arrow for once. Jesus.
Yeah, that one in particular, that was like the longest he could have waited before the arrow hit him. He could have let the arrow hit him and then swapped him, and that would have been pretty clutch, but instead he ruining that accuracy for the Mirana.
Yeah, it definitely works out. Can't really question the result, but it's just a little clowny what's been going down.
Yeah, so those 2 kills will translate to a Tier 2 tower kill as Dog pressure the bottom Tier 2. The Glyph comes out, but I don't think RoX.KiS will be in a position to defend. They may come in and try and hope for a deny, but it won't be easy for them.
They're going in bottom, though. They want to find because somehow it turned off.
How does that happen?
No, because the game's still working.
Don't make stuff on now rolling.
I think we're back online, guys. Do apologize. Seems that our
hey stream
just went off. Yeah, you missed a fight.
Yeah,
potentially. I'm not sure when it died,
yeah.
but there was a team fight. There was a team fight around mid.
Good thing you tabbed out the check chat, LD.
Well, we have 2 producers and nobody's monitoring the stream. I'm not sure what they're doing.
It's true. To be fair, Brian is the stats man. He's googling and spectating.
Jesus.
But
well, I guess we've got to pause now. So, touching up the viewers.
All right, let's look at some graphs here. Oh, well, this is going to block it. It's about a 1,500 gold lead for RoX.KiS right now. Pardon me, for Team Dog right now, and about a 2,500-ish experience lead. Team Dog did just get a little aggressive in the mid, and there was a nice Bat Rider lasso. It pulled the Wraith King into the Tier 3 area right here. They killed him twice. That set up a pretty bad fight for Dog. It ended a 3-0, and RoX.KiS were able to counter push and knock down a Tier 2 tower in the mid. So probably sometime right around that stream went offline. RoX.KiS found a good team fight, regained a little bit of momentum, but at the end of the day, Dogs still have the carry advantage, and they're still in decent shape. Yeah,
they're in decent shape, but even though RoX.KiS aren't going to just flat out damage them, if like one hero dies on Dog, then the rest can quickly follow. They have way more damage output, way more late game, but they are vulnerable to getting picked off one by one, and that's pretty much what happened mid. Was the Bat Lasso dragged a hero to the tier 3 tower, and everybody followed trying to save the Wraith King. Overextended in doing so, and just basically got punished from there.
Mm-hmm. And actually, Doom has been farming pretty well. Solo didn't go hand-to-Midas this game, but he's been maintaining that #1 net worth position for a little while now, about 1,000 up on Mirana. He is level 17, one of the the highest level in the game by 2. So RoX.KiS do have a little bit of carry power here.
Are we actually back online? Okay, we're back online now. I was just saying it was dead to me. So, do apologize for the outage, guys. You missed a little bit of action, basically the turnaround that Zayori was mentioning, but you didn't miss the end of the game, at least. So you've got that going for you.
That's something.
And MSS, man, he really struggled this game. They did a great job of shutting him down. 80 CS at 33 minutes. He did finally get his Battle Fury. It's super, super late, but remember there's Avenge backing him up. There's a lot of damage from the other heroes on the team. As late as it is, it still might be in time.
Yeah, I mean, Battle Fury is an item that, for most carries, it's your farming tool that lets you get online, and that's true for Ember, but it's really good on him at all stages in the game, and he's one of few heroes that actually really benefits from multiple Battle Furies. So, I think a Battle Fury really at pretty much any point can still go a long way on the Ember Spirit.
It's the damage item for him.
Yeah.
If you get a damage... There was a lot of dispute and argument. There were back when Ember first got released. There were a lot of very angry people saying anyone who builds a Battle Fury is an idiot. Maelstrom's much better. Desolator's much better. But it seems that the results are in, and Battle Fury is king. So
the calculators have spoken.
I will say I was a Battle Fury builder from the beginning, mostly because I like farming creeps, and Battle Fury is the ultimate creep-killing item.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I was glad to stumble into the right build.
Yeah.
The other builds aren't bad by any means. It's just the Battle Fury gives you pretty close damage with the first one, and it's when you get 2 in a Daedalus that just, like, nothing matches that in late game.
It's the most well-rounded. You can get the Desolator really early and just obliterate people and go full snowball mode, but if you don't win the game in like 20 minutes and just completely shut them down, then the Battle Fury lets you farm a little faster, and it scales a little bit better than the Desolator on Ember Spirit. So.
Yeah, Maelstrom's an okay kind of in-between item. The other thing you can do is just not get a damage item early. Sometimes getting a Lincoln Sphere is decent. Sometimes BKB is okay, but in general, you don't need either because you're Ember. So you have an instant cast point, escape mechanism, and Fire Remnant. You've got magic resistance from Flame Guard, and generally you should have teammates setting you up, and you should be able to just sit back and... Well, he's got it this game. He's got Fada, who can normally start the fights with the Blink in, and just soak up a bunch of spells, and then reincarn and turn the fight around. So
yeah, and speaking of Fada, he's gone into BKB now after this armlet, so won't be the Mjolnir that Mirana picked up. You'll really only need one, and... Well, he won't go Blade Mail either. He wants to have some magic immunity here, which is maybe a little questionable against a Doom and a Bat Rider.
If they Doom the Wraith King, then that's good for Dog, because he still has those reincarn, and then he comes back and you fight again.
It's true.
And if they don't Doom him, then there's a lot of magic damage, which this will block. Sure, it doesn't block the Lasso, the Demonic Purge, but it does mean that he's able to soak up a lot more... Well, there's just not much right-click, so he's basically able to just not take damage too much in fights.
Yeah.
So I still think even though they have Doom and Bat, it's still a pretty good choice.
Okay, fair enough.
If they're running a 1-core lineup, it wouldn't be that strong, but when they have other heroes to deal the damage, anything you can do to force them to focus him is a win for the team.
And speaking of BKBs, Sadoy on Bat Rider's also completed his, so... Still yet to use it. That's a 10-second BKB ready for the next fight. He'll sneak in and grab the Haste Rune, and he's also picked up a gem. So now trying to do a bit of counter warding, he'll find one Observer outside of the Roche pit, and now maybe RoX.KiS can regain some map control. They will group up as 5. It appears they want to pressure the bottom tier 1 tower. It's already pretty low, but Dog won't let it go without a fight. They're already grouped up, and they'll try and set a trap here. They're
in a good position for this. Ancient Apparition can hit a nice ultimate. Fada can jump in for the BKB.
Arrow smacks Yol in the face, but the follow-up just isn't there. And again, I spoke too soon. Dog will let it go without a fight. They'll just retreat to the tier 2, and RoX.KiS will not press the issue. BZZ actually ports to the top lane to keep that tower safe.
They can just go Roche right now. He just TP'd out, and he doesn't have any quick way back into the pit, but I guess Dog are just worried about getting initiated upon. Here comes Fada, and they are going to go Roche. So the second they see that Centaur TP, but they might have hesitated a few seconds too long. He's already back to mid. They could get here in time.
Yeah.
Dog, they'll do the Roche quickly, but will it be quickly enough? Still the Venge isn't here. And finally, she'll arrive at the pit. I don't think they can do this. They need to back.
Yeah,
might be too late already.
They'll be forced out. Sadoy coming in, throws a flame break, slows down Fada's exit. The follow-up just isn't there. Skeleton King walks away. RoX.KiS do hold Roche, though. They intimidate out Dog, and now we'll see who wants to make the next move. I think both sides will just give up on the pit for now.
If they had just gone the second that they saw the Centaur TP,
yeah, they could have done it.
Sure, he can stampede and still help his team a bit, but a lot of these fights have been won by 2-3 hero stomps, and I don't think they can actually win a fight without all 5, so I think they could have done it, but, well, maybe a slight opportunity missed. Either way, they didn't give up the Roche, and they're still the much better Roche lineup, so they're playing it safe here, and definitely can't argue with that.
Yeah, the pressure really isn't on Dog to secure Roche right now. It is the third Roche, though, which makes it a little bit more valuable with that cheese coming out, and RoX.KiS looks like they're hungry for a little bit of that aged cheddar. Arrow flies into the pit. Dog want the scouting intel, and I think it may have just fallen a little too far short, and they didn't see...
They're just so slow at killing Roche.
But yeah, there's no way they can get it. Now Fada hops forward. Moonlight Shadow's on. There is a sentry down for the Radiant side. They're prepared for this. Solo, BKB, Pipe, and Shiva's already blown. Throws the ultimate out onto Pos. Meanwhile, Fada in the front lines. He'll get completely isolated. That procs the ultimate. And around the backside, Ancient Apparition falls, but it'll cost Solo his life. And now with the Wraith King coming back up, he'll pop his BKB. Wraithfire Blast onto Gullblack. There's your Sleight of Fist. A big crit to finish him off. Swap onto the Centaur. And Team Dog, they'll just clean it up. Back-to-back crits to finish off the Centaur and the Shadow Demon. Fada doing it in style. Roche will be taken out by Team Dog.
Why Doom the Ancient Apparition? There's much higher priority targets to worry about. You have, in particular, I would say the Ember Spirit's the ideal target. Secondary target is Mirana. Ancient Apparition had already used his ultimate. It was on cooldown before they even went on with Doom. But the other nice thing is, great play by the Wraith King. Fada understands the hero, understands his role in the lineup. He just blinks in, soaks up a bunch of damage, and the Doom ignored him, which I think he should. He shouldn't go on the Wraith King. He should just be looking for these other heroes, particularly the Ember and maybe the Mirana. But yeah, the Wraith King jumps in, soaks up 3 heroes. He slowed all 3 of them around the pit, and then they were pretty much isolated while the Doom just went up the hill and tried to do everything by himself. So
Yeah.
Target selection a little bit questionable for RoX.KiS, and as soon as they lose the Roche fight, Aegis goes dog's way, and that's cheese too.
Yeah, maybe he saw the Egg Scepter on Pos and said, well, Ice Blast is pretty scary. But like you said, if Ice Blast was on cooldown or off cooldown, maybe I could see it, but he had already used it. Yeah, so there was really no reason to shut him down. Maybe if he didn't Doom Pos, though, that was the only kill that they picked up in that fight. It was a 1 for 3, and Ancient Apparition was the only death on Team Dog. So the Doom did secure that kill. That is something that Solo was able to pick up.
It's like it oh, they're smoked up. They might go right now, but it just throws chaos into the enemy team when the Wraith King blinks in.
Yeah, Mirana does have a Linken's now. It will get procced by that Shadow Poison coming in.
Fada goes in again.
Here we go. Pycat, he gets isolated as well. BKB popped by Doom. They have some nice initiation damage, but they just can't follow it up. Rubik steals an Ice Blast, but Pycat still survives. Deny comes out onto the Ember Spirit. That'll proc the Aegis.
This Wraith King is way behind enemy lines. Fada going deep. He did pop his ultimate and just trying to slow down the back lines, but he gets cleaned up. That's what I'm talking about, though. You doom the Ember, and he's done. They do not have great defensive support. They have Swap. That's it. They don't have a Chen heal, a send back. They don't really have too much to keep him alive. No mech for the team either, so yeah, that's much better focus fire. And they did that through Aegis and Cheese. Like, they lost the last fight without Aegis and Cheese on the enemy team, and they win it this time because that's just how important the target selection on Doom is. He's Doom's the right hero, they win the fight. He Doom's the wrong hero, they lose it.
And up top now, BZZ in some trouble. Misery sets it up with the swap, but they've got plenty of support inbound. The mech will be enough to top him off, and Dog will be forced to retreat. Pos just tries to TP home. And oh, wow, a close call as that Blink Dagger Centaur hops forward, hoof stomp, just half a second too late. That was a pretty close call, but oh, Misery, he'll get left behind, has the Mjolnir buff on him, but he gets caught in the lasso. Mirana throws an arrow that does hit the Centaur in tower range, but unfortunately for Team Dog, Centaur is a little too tanky, and it will just tickle him as RoX.KiS finish off the top tier 2 tower for the Dire side.
Well, Solo has upgraded his carry potential a lot. Got a nice Assault Cuirass, also found a pack leader's aura. I think he's had it for a while, but yeah, in the early, like the first 20, 30 minutes, he was not hitting hard, and now he's terrifying. This Ember is just desperately poor. Is working towards the second Battle Fury, but very squishy. And if he gets doomed, they pretty much lose the fight. So for Dog at this point, they have to protect the Ember. It's just their lineup's not particularly well crafted to do it. That's generally why when you see teams pick Ember, they like to run him with things like Shadow Demon, Dazzle, occasionally Chen, supports that can keep him alive. Even Tramp Protector or Abaddon occasionally, but this draft is not particularly well equipped to keep him alive, and he's just not farmed enough to do it on his own.
Yeah. Well, now RoX.KiS, they'll continue to stay aggressive. They rotate bottom, and they want to take out the last outer tower remaining for Team Dog. Glyph will be popped. And Dog, do they want to make a hold here? Moonlight Shadow pops, and Ice Blast flies, but
nice lasso.
Get there in time to contest. Sidoi, he grabs Fada, isolates him. That's pretty much where Fada wants to be anyhow. Now Doom doing the same thing as he presses forward with his BKB. Won't find any kills. They will instead just finish off Wraith King. He comes back to life. Where's the rest of Dog coming in? Now Solo does have the ultimate hanging onto it for now. Pos trying to survive. They'll hop forward. They'll finish him off without using the Doom. And with that ultimate still available, they could set this up on someone else. He does finally throw it out onto... I don't know where he threw it out, but
he actually hit the Lincolns of Pycat. Now MSS will come back in, does slay a fist through. He doesn't actually hit that hard though. Fada, no ultimate available. It's cool. He now gets swapped out by Misery. This might be enough to keep him alive. He's got to be careful though. Dropping low to the urn. Is he going to live? It looks like he will. The urn wears off and barely survives in the end. They did have to buy back on the Vengeful Spirit, but well worth it by Misery. That could have been a game-endingly bad fight. So what happened in that fight was Solo... He leveled Death to break the Lincoln Sphere, which had been used on the Ember Spirit. Then the Ember Spirit immediately, he was like right around here above the ramp, and he Remnants out so that he didn't get doomed because the Lincolns had been broken. Then runs over this way, it's just hiding. Right as the Lincoln Sphere came off cooldown, Doom tried to throw it on Pycat. So just kind of bad timing. It had been used on the Ember earlier, but it cooled down just at the right moment. Had they doomed that hero, I think they just flat out win the fight. So just kind of bad luck for Solo, really. He had the right idea, though. Like, he ran in and just threatened to doom MSS, and that just forced MSS to completely retreat.
Now, one thing that's kind of interesting here with this Vengeful Spirit, she'd have to burn pretty much all of her gold for that buyback, which is rather unfortunate, but they could have had a mech by now. She picked up this casual point booster and hasn't had even close to enough farm to pick up an Ag Scepter. Had about 2,000 gold before that fight, and now has none. And I think a mech would have gone a long way for Team Dog. This is
the other thing is that Dog lost their gem in one of the recent fights, so
yep,
they are playing against
2 gems.
They're playing in the dark, basically. Were they both dogs? I think one.
no,
the Bat Rider is his own gem.
Yeah, one of them is Bat Riders, but it's a lame.
Solo went Daedalus. I love this build actually because all they need him to do is just be the right-click damage dealer. Centaur's not going to do it. He's tanky. He'll soak up damage, but the Doom is he's the carry.
And he's really starting to hit hard, over 300 in auto attack, and the crits are pretty darn big at this point. 755. Wow.
Doom God.
Yeah.
You know, it's I mentioned how Dog have a lot of physical damage, but that was like 25 minutes ago. Now Solo has 35 armor, 2400 health, and a BKB. And now their physical damage is a little bit underwhelming, really. Mjolnir's not too great against BKB, and the Ember's just not farmed. Like, he's got a sync double Battle Fury, sure, but this point in the game, you want to have a Daedalus on top of that, and maybe some sort of survivability item as well to go with it.
Yeah, Pycat felt forced into that Lincoln Spear, which really came in handy in the last fight, but it's kind of neutered his damage output. Like you mentioned,
they have to keep the Ember alive. Like, that's
BKB,
why he goes for the Lincolns, but the problem is that they
need
they
his
can
damage,
still break the Lincoln Sphere. They just level death him, Rubik zap him, lift him. One Lincolns is not enough. They could get like 2 or 3, but they also need more damage, so they're actually in a bit of a tough spot here.
Yeah, now RoX.KiS use their pipe already, and they'll move into the tier 3, but I thought they may commit a little more to this push. No glyph is available for Team Dog, so they could have chunked this tower pretty quickly while Dog were getting in position to defend. Mirana caught without a TP, could have grabbed one at the side shop, but that was a decent window for RoX.KiS to do damage, and they won't capitalize on it. They will play this one rather defensive. Heart of Tarask also up on the Centaur, by the way, so he is now super duper tanky, 18 armor and 3,100 hit points.
Yeah, who do you focus? Doom's pretty tanky, Centaur's pretty tanky. They don't have Doom. They don't have Lasso.
I guess the Bat Rider, but he's got a BKB, so he's not particularly easy to focus either. I guess you're slated to kill the Rubik. He's the only one that you can maybe catch, but he also has a Blink Dagger, so he's pretty elusive.
And they have Shadow Demon, so if you do go on someone, Goblak can always disrupt them to keep them safe.
Yeah, and Goblak now is working towards the Lincolns. He has Ultimate Orb as well as Lincoln Sphere Recipe already complete, so just a perseverance away from having yet another defensive item that'll help keep RoX.KiS alive in these small skirmishes.
He's the ideal hero to go on, killing off the Shadow Demon to start the fight. He's pretty squishy, and he's their best defensive support, or best defensive hero in general, but no, not going to be easy to kill when he's got a Lincoln's, because their best initiation is probably just a swap. Yeah. And, well, you're not swapping him. And this is a level 3 swap as well, so it's almost a full screen and wide.
Yep. Things slowing down here, though.
At this point in the game, Dog pretty much need to just keep on farming the Ember. They have to turtle, play defensively, wait for the next Roshan. 2.5 minutes to go until it respawns. I don't know if they can just sneak it so easily, though. RoX.KiS, last time around, were much better at contesting the Aegis, not giving it away completely free. And now, with how tanky they are, there's really no split push threat from Dog. Like, they can push out the lanes, but they're not threatening your base. If they do that, they're going to die to the Doom. They'll die to the Blink Initiation. So, as a result, it's just going to be... Dog are going to have to find a pick-off if they want to take the Roach and just keep on farming the Ember. That's pretty much the game plan, is take it, like, super, super late game. 60, 70 minutes in.
Yeah, this Ember Spirit will be really scary if you can get a Daedalus. Even just a Crystallis would be pretty big at this point. And the nice thing about having the double Battle Fury is you just keep spamming that Sleight of Fist, and even if you don't get any big cleaves, it just takes one misstep from RoX.KiS to be clumped up a little too close, and you get 2 or 3 cleaves on top of each other, and that's when you see those supports going from full to 0 in just one Sleight of Fist. So that is the power of this build. It's kind of RNG-based in that sense, where you just spam it every 6 seconds, and to some degree just kind of hope for the best.
They also are getting farm on Pycat, who will have an MKB pretty soon. That's ideal for them, is if they have 3 farm carries. Fada's pretty close with an Assault Cuirass as well. With 3, RoX.KiS do have a ton of lockdown, and I mean a ton, but if all 3 of them are 5, 6 slotted, like realistically, you Doom 1 can maybe kill the other with the Lasso and some follow-up stuns, but then there's still a third to deal with, so... We'll see how it works out. A lot of it also comes down to Ancient Apparition. Is he going to hit a big ultimate? RoX.KiS are looking for a pick off mid. Will they find it?
And this next fight is really crucial because fourth Rosh will be up in just about 5 seconds or so. Dog have been very adamant about scouting it out. We've seen them lob arrows into the pit left and right, and there's your Rosh. So both teams will be pretty focused around this. I think if RoX.KiS secure this Roach, Dog will be in a little bit of trouble. If Dog get it, they can extend this game a bit longer. And
they actually Roach much quicker now with the Daedalus and with the Wolf. He's got a double crit, sure, but he's still got a lot of right click. Are they going to contest this? They are spotted out right now by Radiant Observer Ward, having lost that gem earlier. Could be very costly. They're running in, but RoX.KiS know all about it.
And RoX.KiS will just retreat right away. They do not want to take a fight in the Roche pit. Arrow whizzes across the pit, actually hits Doom. The follow-up won't be there. He's too far away.
Go on him. He's way too far back. Are they really going to go for him?
Moonlight Shadow. They'll blink forward. Fada looking for the opening. Shiva's burned already. There's a crit from Fada to start things off, as well as a Wraithfire Blast. Where's the follow-up? So Dwight hops forward. There's your ultimate from the Centaur. And everyone's still alive so far, but it looks like Dog will be the ones to come out behind.
Stolen. Is it going to be used for anything important? They all jump into the pit. Fada looking for Solo. Solo's down in the middle of the fight. He hasn't used his Doom yet. He goes down to Fada. He buys back immediately, but can he Boots of Travel his way back into the fray? He'll TP to the tier 2 mid. He's got to hoof it in, but they've already lost quite a few. Now Fada blinking forward. Doom is coming, though. No BKB. Oh, what a disaster. Yeah, the Doom just got completely isolated by that swap.
They burned 2 buybacks here, and it's still a 4v3 on the field. RoX.KiS are adamant about contesting Roche, and now they may just move into the pit themselves. I think Dog are still in a pretty good position.
Ancient Apparition ult is cooling down. Oh, Arrow narrowly missing, but Ember's going to come in. He could steal this. Ancient Apparition ult should be flying any second now. It's just cooled down, and into the pit it goes, but RoX.KiS will back off. Oh, it's going to hit one.
He overshoots it for good reason. Centaur was standing there. Now Fada hops forward. Wraithfire Blast onto Solo. Arrow connects onto Sidoi. He's got the lasso available. They'll finish him off before he can lasso anyone. Doom ulti comes out onto Pycat. That'll be enough to lock him down. Secures the kill, but Solo could be in trouble.
Buyback from the Mirana.
Joining in. Mirana wants to rejoin the party, but doesn't have any way to get there quickly. Will just be trotting her way down on top of Nova. There's the dead Doom. He drops a gem, but no one even cares about that gem right now. They're more preoccupied with Roche. And it looks like Dog will secure it. Doom stuck in the grave for 100 seconds.
That is like, oh, have they stolen Ancient Apparition ult on the Rubik? No, Ice Vortex, so not even that. That was an amazing fight by Pycat. He hit like 3 or 4 clutch arrows to secure that engagement for them, and this is where Doom does struggle. When he's a one-position Doom, you don't have any other damage dealers. Like, sure, you Doom the Mirana, she's almost out of the fight, but there's still so many other heroes to worry about. She can just... Buyback is also... You know, we call Wraith King sort of the quote-unquote counter to Doom, but Buyback is the real counter. You Doom one hero, he just buys back, rejoins the fight, and now they've got 3 carries online. You don't have Doom, and he's not going to trade effectively against the Tricore with this much farm, so yeah, it's tough at this stage of the game.
Wraith King, he hops really far forward. Arrow to follow up. The arrow will be off the mark, so will the Ice Blast, actually.
They got Yo, are they going to swap him in? No.
Tier 2 tower falls, and Dog, they won't back up. They'll continue to press forward. Creeps are inbound. The Glyph is available for RoX.KiS here, but they don't have too many options. They don't have any buybacks available. Doom will be down for another 40 seconds.
Another heart for the Centaur. Double heart. Double the pain.
Go Black. He will get off a defensive disruption, but might not be out of the clear. There's a lasso forward onto Fada, but the defensive swap keeps him alive. He does have an ultimate here, so even if he goes down, not the end of the world. The rest of Dog, very weak, though. They will Moonlight Shadow to make it out. They all
just
survive.
Kidding.
Whoa, they reinitiate. Fada hops forward. He wants to finish off the Centaur. They'll get him with a big crit. And now the racks are exposed. 2 in the grave. And how are RoX.KiS going to hold this? They've got no lasso. Their melee racks fall. Range racks will go down shortly after. Dog are now in fantastic shape.
No buy. Is there a buyback on the Centaur? Nope. 1,400 gold short.
Only 1,400.
He needed a 3rd heart, man. Having 2, simply not enough.
Yeah, and now the graph, it was in the favor of RoX.KiS, but now coming back the way of Dog, and they've got a pretty big experience as well.
You know, I'm surprised you didn't go Blade Mail, honestly. They have a single BKB on the Wraith King, but I guess Ember Spirit is immune when he's using Sleight of Fist. Maybe Blade Mail wouldn't be that great, but a double heart just feels very underwhelming, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, sure, your charge is going to do a lot more damage, but Dog are so mobile. They have the level 3 Venge swap. She doesn't have eggs yet, but still has the initial swap. Ancient Apparition has a 4 staff and a lot of HP, already up to 1,600. Ember is incredibly mobile, and Marana, Wraith King are not too shabby in their own right with the Blink Dagger and the Leap. So
Yeah, I mean, Heart is not a cheap item, and there's so many other just utility-based items I feel like he could have gone
or just
for.
buyback was the other
Yeah.
thing. Like he could have just saved for buyback there.
Yeah, very true.
I don't know if it would have made a difference, but just one more thing not really going RoX.KiS's way. And now a Basher for the Wraith King, Abyssal Blade soon to follow, Daedalus on the Ember. Here come the deeps.
Yeah, the Daedalus on the Ember in particular is just so scary. This is where he's completely online and just hits so ridiculously hard. And yeah, those crits will be something to fear here, LD. He's got the cheese as well, so even if they lock down the Ember Spirit, he will have that burst of healing and mana regeneration that'll come his way. Also a Daedalus onto Pycat, so crits all over the place. 3 Daedaluses in this game.
Yeah, and then you've got the Aura as well. The critical strike on solo, so double crit.
Yep, and actually Fada also got a Basher, so as if the crits weren't enough, get a little more RNG in there with those auto attacks. And
Looking for this top lane. They could go in right now on BZZ.
Top tower.
Arrow connects, Fada hops forward, Wraithfire Blast, out onto Doom, the follow-up damage is there, he pops his BKB and the Shivas, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. That's a 1-for-0 that Dog needed.
No buyback for a
90
minute.
seconds.
That's GG. No Doom.
I think this might be GG.
I don't. They can't fight this without Doom. This
Yeah.
is over.
What are they going to do? Look how fast the tower falls. They have no glyph either. All they can do is hope for a good Centaur initiation, which they'll find. A lot of AoE damage, but the follow-up just isn't there. Now Rubik just gets picked off in the fray, and Sidoi, he'll go down shortly after. Right-click down by the Marana. Go Black and BZZ, the lone defenders.
But they've got another life on the Wraith King. Still all 5 heroes standing here. Godblack's going to get cleaned up. Those slight crits, he got a few big ones in that fight. And 2 lanes of Rax down. Rubik will buy back. Still the Doom dead for 25 seconds. No buyback ult anyway, so dead for 50.
That fat lady is singing, LD.
This should be 3 lanes of Rax. I don't think they can... They can't really, like, throne it or anything. They don't have a Boots of Travel buyback. Base race option. They're pretty screwed.
They've got nothing. It's not even a glyph. I mean, Centaur, he has a Stampede, but
Tower has fallen.
what can he do?
I will say he did a lot of damage with that initiate. When he blink stomped on 3 heroes, got the double edge off, but he just couldn't finish them. Like, he brought 2-3 heroes down to about half health, but that was it.
And now BZZ, he'll get initiated upon, burns his Stampede, but he gets crit for 900, just hacked and slashed. I heard Centaur meat was pretty tasty. And Team Dog will second the notion. There's your GG, well played. And Dog are victorious, 40-23 after 57 minutes of gameplay.
RoX.KiS had some really nice engagements, but their lineup wasn't designed to take it 57 minutes in. Sure, Doom can deal with a 1-core draft. Sure, they had a lot of lockdown, but their draft was best equipped to get double blink and just start killing stuff. And they took so many fights in the mid-game where there was 4 heroes there, but not the Doom, who wanted to finish his BKB. By the time he got it, it just kind of felt like they had missed their window. And at one point, I thought maybe they would claw out a victory, but it was always going to be uphill from that stage.
They started to grab some momentum. They knocked down all the outer towers. The big problem was Roche. Dog got every single Roche kill that game, and you really need the minus armor. There was no easy way for RoX.KiS to kill Roche in any kind of a timely manner. No medallion, nothing like that. So, game coming up next, Relax versus Virtus Pro. And nothing but best of ones today for the group stage of the Summit, but Team Dog off to a good start. That was their first match in the group stage.
Yeah,
so.
they are now 1-0. RoX.KiS are 2-1. So RoX.KiS still in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they're fine. Still very early on in the group stage. Nothing getting decided here, but we'll have a short break, guys, and then our next match, Virtus Pro versus RX, will be coming up next.